a status report. Self-destruct sequence has been initiated. We've got an incoming transmission.
What?
Patching it through.
Deactivation of command function overrides requires altitude clearance.
You. How are you, gentlemen? We have successfully acquired your base of operations. Prepare to be destroyed.
1 minute to box destruct.
How dare you! Your time has run out. Savor your final moments.
This is someone's idea of a practical joke, right?
Captain, what should we do?
Arm every SIG for deployment. Initiate launch sequence. Open the pod bay doors. Justice shall be served.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Come to you live from our comfy couch here on the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for May 10th, 2021 with your host, Peacemaker2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
I button wrong big time.
Yeah. Fart episode. Fart episode. Fart episode.
Aw, I don't get announced.
You were on mute. I didn't know if you were meeting for this or not.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm listening. I'll be chiming in here and there. I'm just doing other stuff as well.
Okay, Glock is also here for random bits of commentary.
Yeah, what I'm best at.
For those that couldn't tell, based off of the Discord overlay on the top right. Just saying.
So, folks, it is episodes 21 through 24 of Beast Wars. This second episode. It is the literal dumbest episode of Beast Wars. I believe the episode that I think everyone just is like, wait, did that episode happen? Ah, shit. Now I remember that episode happened. Granted, I also have a GIF for the GIF wall from this episode. But any thoughts before we get into the episodes itself?
Not really. But I did notice something this set of episodes that I now am wondering if I just missed it up till now. Megatron's dinosaur cannon thing actually is alive, isn't it?
I mean, for the one episode, yes. I think it's acted like it's alive a different time. I don't think it's supposed to be alive.
Okay.
I think they did that for a visual gag.
Okay. 'Cause I saw that and I'm like, either I missed that this entire way and that seems really out of place, or this is in there as a goof.
It's in there as a goof. We've seen him without that on his hands a couple different times, I believe. So but anyway, we will kick off with episode 21, Possession. So we follow a spark that has entered orbit from space as it flies by both Maximal and Predacon base during a massive energon storm that damages the Maximal base and blows a hole in the side of it, and has caused them to put all of the weapons and stuff in a hold because like that to not get hit by energon and explode and kill us all.
Except, maybe putting it in hold under the ship is not the smartest place either.
That's fine. But we follow to Predacon base, where the spark enters the base and possesses Waspinator through a console. After electrical fire happens and Megatron has to go investigate it. But we find out that this spark is Starscream from the original Transformers series. And he has possessed Waspinator because he wants to do his thing. Because that's what Starscream does. He also points out that, no, I died, but my spark is technically immortal, defending my leader Galvatron from the mighty Unicron. Spoilers, that's a lie. This is technically all in reference, I think, to the Transformers movie, where Starscream declared himself king of the Decepticons after he kicked Megatron and a bunch of others out, and then Megatron got turned into Galvatron by Unicron, and then he showed up on Cybertron where Starscream was like, I am king, and Galvatron like, go fuck yourself, and blew his head off. So Starscream's lying because it's Starscream. And I love that everyone's like, you're lying, but we'll all play along. But he's taking charge of a mission to attack the Maximals because Scorponok sent a bee. He spotted the hole. The bee spotted the hole in the base, and Waspinator or Starscream's like, "We'll attack from the other side," because they won't expect that side, and they attack. And they actually injure Dinobot, which causes all the Maximals to retreat, letting the Predacons take over Maximal base. Oh no! At this point, the Predacons split up. Only Black Arachnia, Starscream, and Scorponok are at the base. So you can already tell what's going to happen, because unfortunately Scorponok is the whipping boy of this series when it's not Waspinator.
And yeah,
we needed somebody to get blown up by a Predacon. 9 times out of 10, it will be Scorponok that will be blown up by his fellow Predacons.
unless it's Waspinator.
No, Waspinator gets blown up by everyone.
Oh,
That's the difference. Waspinator is the jobber to everyone. Scorponok's only the jobber to the Predacons. At this point, the Maximals have regrouped in the forest, and they are trying to put together a plan. But apparently the Maximals sealed all the files on Starscream, so Dinobot, being a former Predacon's got to be like, guys, this is what Starscream is. He's a traitor. He's an asshole. This is what we need to do.
And, you know, that's the point where I actually have to agree with Dinobot when he called the Maximal predecessors fools. Because it's like, yeah, that's information you probably needed to know.
Look, here's what you need to know about the Decepticons. Megatron is a dumbass and really bad at his job. Starscream is an asshole and will traitor him at a given notice, and then everyone else just kind of follows along because they have nothing better to do.
Fair.
So the plan involves the Maximals feigning surrender. And at this point, Dinobot gets locked up in the CR chamber, and Primal gets locked up conveniently near where all the weapons are stored. And the rest of the Maximals get told to go attack the Predacons, which Scorponok's like, hey, you can't do that. And they get shot off the side of the ship for his efforts. By both Starscream and Black Arachnia, like, no, we're in charge, go away. You're no longer appearing in this episode. Goodbye. At this point, Primal breaks out. He breaks out Dinobot. The two of them fight the Predacons and force them to flee. Primal falls after Starscream as we cut over to the Predacon base where the Maximals are fighting or attacking the base. Not really, but they gotta put up the front for a while. Until Starscream shows up and is just like, well, you do better. And then Primal's like, I'm going to kick your ass now. And proceeds to whoop Starscream's ass, forcing him to land near an Energon crystal, which paralyzes him long enough for Black Arachnia to blow him up and send Starscream's spark back into space. And Waspinator is put back together so he can job some more. And we end the episode when the Maximal's cleaning up. And that's the episode, folks. But now, it's time for the fart episode, episode 22, The Low Road. So, Dinobot and Rat Trap are cleaning up some wild bean vines that are growing around the Maximal base. Until they argue and fight. Because that is what the two of them do. Is argue and fight each other. At this point, the Predacons attack! And as the two of them continue to bicker, Rhinox tries to cover them so they can escape. To the point that he is ankle deep in bullet casings from both of his machine guns. I like that detail of this giant pile of shell casings around his feet. Unfortunately, Rhinox gets hit by a virus by Tarantulas, who gets blown away by Dinobot. And this virus, as it turns out, is an Energon expulsion virus that causes Rhinox to sneeze and shoot out a beam of energon. A destructive sneeze of energon that starts blowing holes in the base, regardless of what mode is he in. And it will eventually kill him because he'll run out of energon. So Primal decides, you two dumbasses caused this problem. You're going to fix it. Go find Tarantulas and go find a cure for this. So we follow the two of them for the rest of the episode, bitching and moaning at each other while also kind of completing their job. And I love that we cut to them, we go from them arguing and calling each other's names to Cheetor listening to the radio and going, I'm the immature one? as he just looks to Primal and go, is this a good idea? And Primal's like, look, they'll either fix this or they'll blow each other up, and I honestly don't give a fuck anymore. As the base continues to fall to pieces around him. I love how much Primal is done this episode.
Yeah.
But the two eventually track down Tarantulas in a tunnel. They knock him out twice. The second time while they're arguing with each other, and just tell Tarantulas to shut up so they can continue to bicker and moan at each other some more. But they eventually make it to Tarantula's lab, only for the Predacons to already be there because they know the virus works, so they want to make more of it and shoot it into more of the Maximals. So Dinobot has the brilliant idea of take Tarantulas hostage and demand the cure, and Tarantulas gets immediately shot out of his hands by Megatron into pieces behind him. Because Megatron's like, Really? Really, Dinobot? Did you really think I gave a shit about Tarantulas?
I mean, Dinobot should have knew that he doesn't really care about any of them.
Fair. But thankfully, Rat Trap snuck in behind them and shot most of their guns out of their hands. Only for, at this point, the Maximals to arrive after Rhinox ate a whole bunch of wild beans from the vines. That's important for a minute.
A literal minute.
Uh-huh. So they all show up, but then Megatron's like, I have the cure, go into beast mode or I break it. And they're like, okay, fine. So they all go into beast mode, and Megatron gloats, only for Rhinox to be like, the beans did not agree with me very well. And he starts to turn around, so his ass is facing the Predacons. And then he lets off a nuclear fart that blows away the Predacons and leaves the cure, so the Maximals take it and leave. So Rhinox is cured, and the Predacons are left in shambles along a tree as Megatron's like, we're never doing this again. No one speaks of this or I will rip your spark out myself. And that's the fart episode, folks. So how'd you feel about these two episodes?
Kinda meh, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the most exciting episode.
Yeah. It's a thing.
Yeah.
I will give it that.
I mean, it sounded funny.
I mean, it is, but in the context of the series, it's just like this is all building to a fart joke. A fart joke saves the day. Okay, fine.
It's literally this episode that made me come to that realization that I mentioned in the pre-show about this. Feels very much so like how the beginning of Red vs. Blue was.
Yeah.
And it's like, the more I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I kind of I kind of see it. Like, clearly, I know they're two different shows. Big time. But
Well, it doesn't help that the status quo kind of gets reset every episode of just like, well, everyone goes back to base and we just continue this fight again tomorrow.
And it's that mentality that I'm like, yeah, that's where the similarities come in. Because we get the one-offs where it's kind of building to an overall plot. But that's about it.
Yeah.
Everything else is goof of the week.
Yeah, I feel like you could cut this down to about the same amount of episodes that season 2 and 3 have, and the show probably will be paced a lot better.
That might be why they cut them down. They might have realized that. It might have been a case of, oh yeah, we can do that many episodes, and then they actually got to going and they're like, oh crap, no we can't.
I think it was a case of, I think there was a network decision that cut it down. But I think the show ended up better for it.
If it was a networking decision that caused that, then yeah, the network did a good call on that. Because I think it made them cut out a lot of the unneeded parts. Because, yeah, there's a good bit of this first season that can just be kind of cut and it would be fine. Or even condensed. But anyhow.
Alright, let's hit the second half then with episode 23, Law of the Jungle. So Dinobot and Cheater are out scouting for alien locations and artifacts because that shit keeps cropping up and trying to kill us. Maybe we should find it before it tries to kill us again.
Which is fair.
They are unfortunately then attacked by the Predacons, specifically Inferno, Pterosaur, and Waspinator, and are immediately outgunned as Cheater calls for backup. I also love how Waspinator's like, I don't want to attack until you give the signal. And finally Pterosaur gives him the signal. He's like, thank you. And then attacks.
Yeah.
I think Waspinator's just like, I'm not getting involved until I'm absolutely needed to because I know what happens. I don't want to be blown up this week.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
They've got their own resident psycho that can go get blown up.
But as they're calling in for assistance and primal answers, Tigertron shows up with the other white tiger from the show, the episode he premiered in, which is now named Snowstalker. I don't know if they gave a gender for Snowstalker.
I think I'm wanting to say it was Optimus that made the offhand comment about it being a female.
Okay. I wasn't sure because I'm just like...
Because I think he said something about... something like she was a good something. I know she was used there. I can't remember the exact line. But yeah, it was a one-off and done, so yeah, it could be very up to interpretation kind of deal.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I was just like, I guess because they never specified the gender, although Snowstalker sounds like a female name you would give to a white tiger.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Anyway, that white tiger also shows up in this episode. Bad news for it in a little bit. But Tigertron helps clean out the Predacons, but a stray bullet from him hits the payload of weapons and ammo and bombs and stuff that the Predacons had at the top of a mountain. That then causes a rock slide that Snowstalker gets caught up in and is summarily killed. And Tigertron is devastated by this. He builds her just a little grave, and then proceeds to lambast both sides of the conflict because of the damage they caused the planet, and proceeds to desert, not wanting to be involved in the fighting anymore, regardless of which side. So he leaves. Dinobot takes umbrage with this and follows him to talk. Like, legitimately, he follows him to talk.
Which is funny to see, considering how gun happy he is all the time.
Especially since he's the only one in this show without a gun.
Yeah.
But the Predacons regroup and spot this, so they decide to follow along. And as Dinobot catches up with Tigatron, he pretty much lays it out of, look, the Predacons won't take peace. They are hardwired for violence and conquest. You can't do peace with them. You have to fight them head on. And Tigatron's like, no, I still don't want to fight. And Dinobot's like, you will fight, so fight me. And Tigatron refuses to still fight until Primal intervenes to try to talk with him and try to work with him a little bit, but it still doesn't go well. But at this point, Dinobot's actually attacked by the Predacons, and Primal goes off to help, but both of them are knocked down until Tigatron shows up to fight him. And I have to mention this because I don't know if you spotted it or not, but when Tigatron tells them no more and waggles his finger at them, fucking Primal and Dinobot waggle their finger too behind him.
I saw that and I'm like, really?
I swear the animators in this show have a good laugh sometimes with these animations.
I saw that and I'm just like, did they really do that?
Yeah, they did.
I just kind of took this serious moment and said, oh no, we're not serious.
Yeah. So Trigatron fights him off, but a tree catches fire, and he's just like, I still don't like this, but I'll fight on anyway, even though he just doesn't have the heart for it. But that'll take us to our last episode, the penultimate episode before the two-part finale, episode 24, Before the Storm. So Megatron in his room, where we now see that apparently his Tyrannosaurus head is alive, because, again, the animators are having a laugh at us with dumb things. So he receives a signal, or receives word about a signal being outputted that is alien in origin, the same alien tech we've been dealing with all season. So he's like, let's investigate this, and sends Inferno to investigate it. At the location, Inferno finds another golden disc. For your reminder, folks, a golden disc, a separate golden disc, mind you, that Megatron stole on Cybertron is what led him to this planet to start with. This is important. So, Inferno delivers this to Megatron. He decodes the information on it, and this leads him to send a message to Primal calling for a meeting between just the two of them. And when the two of them meet on top of a mountain, Megatron calls for a ceasefire, a truce between the two sides, because he's got bigger shit to deal with than Primal and the Maximals right now. He says no more, says Primal will take this regardless of the reason, and fucking leaves.
Which, I mean, he's right.
Yeah. So, of course, Primal takes this because, well, he wants to give peace a chance. But he's also not stupid enough to be like, well, something has spooked Megatron really bad, and we need to figure out what it is. So, they devise a plan to sneak into the Predacon base to get the information. they decide to feint having Rat Trap sneak in with the help of Air Razor to throw the Predacons off the scent, as Tigertron is the one who sneaks in and hooks into their, like, computers and stuff. But meanwhile to all this, Tarantulas sneaks into the cargo hold of the Predacon base and steals a transwarp sail and blows up Waspinator in the process because he's decided, I'm fucking leaving. Goodbye. And Megatron sees this and is like, Black Arachnia, can you go say hi to him and stay with him for a while? Because, for reference, folks, Primal and Megatron are going to be playing 3D chess with each other all episode and all finale long. It is a series of gambits in hopes of someone winning, more or less. But when Black Arachnia catches up with Tarantulas, Megatron has the warp cell reprogrammed for reasons we don't know yet. But we follow back up with Tigertron. He gets in the files, he finds out about the golden disc, he sees the information, and is freaked out by it. But he gets caught by Pterosaur, and then he fucking books it. And then what follows is a Home Alone skit as the Maximals peacefully disable the Predacons using Home Alone tactics in order to retreat. Because that's what a ceasefire means, right? It just means we don't shoot each other. Right?
Well, I mean, to be fair, the Maximals never actually, attacked them. They just made them run into stuff.
Fair.
I mean, when it's self-destruction, is that actually still a battle?
True. So the Predacons get defeated.
The more I was saying that, the more I was like, I'll give them credit. They thought outside the box for that one.
Yeah. But as the Predacons are defeated, we find out that Megatron more or less let this happen because he wanted the Maximals to have the information. He just wanted them to work for it. So Tigertron delivers the information to them and to us, the audience, and we find out that the Golden Disc contains information about the aliens and the fact that the aliens are on their way. And they are not happy with the Transformers' presence on this planet. Oh no. And that is where we end the episode. So, how'd you feel about these two?
I feel like the last one's a good setup going into the finale for the first season.
Yeah. Because, once more, we're playing 3D chess for the rest of the finale. And into, the first episode. Well, really, the first 3 episodes of Season 2. Because, technically, it's kind of a 5-parter, more or less. Because it kind of just strings one into the other. Honestly, this is where Beast Wars, I think, gets all of its credit. If you want to see why Beast Wars is a great show, from here on out, I think is what people are mostly going to look like and go, oh yeah, this is what I like about Beast Wars. Because you got some character stuff, but now we get the good stuff. This is the good stuff. Yeah, a decent little, teaser episode for our finale. And, hey, another Tigertron episode, because he's the only one with a character arc, I guess, right now.
For now.
But any other thoughts?
No.
All right, then. Thursday, we're back to Infinite Fusion. I actually didn't clear out that route. So I still got to clear out the route when we start up Thursday.
No, that's not a problem. I kind of stopped early in that route anyhow.
Yeah. Friday, we'll continue where we left off with Spider-Man. Do you need me to get you a proper time of where we're at for that?
No, I think we'll just kind of wing it.
All right.
We might
But-
just, since Live Split acted stupid, we might just start a timer from where we're at and keep going.
Yeah.
And maybe just do timing it from each section.
Yeah.
Because really the timer is more to just make sure we start at the same time and stop at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It really don't even have to be there.
All right. Saturday we'll be talking TGS, and probably most of it will be the Epic Apple court case, since a lot of good information has come out of the court case that has nothing to do with either Epic or Apple in this court case.
Which is funny.
Yeah. And then Sunday, potentially, will
Maybe.
be...
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Stay tuned to most likely Saturday to get the confirmed word on whether that's the case or not. We'll be wrapping up season 1 of Beast Wars and starting the first 2 episodes of season 2, which will leave us in the middle of a 2-parter. Because of course it will. Got anything else?
No.
Alright, then if you like what you're seeing, drop off. I'll really appreciate chipping away at that affiliate goal. At TGZoon on Twitter gets you updates when we go live. Next patient point, Discord and chat. Get your Discord link, drop by, say hi. We will see you Thursday, folks.